go on and let's move further on up the card there, Gene. Benoit Dariush, he's going to go ahead. He's going to take on Renato Moicano. Current line in this one, both of these guys right now at minus 110, so it's pretty much a pick 'em. Gene, let me go first here. I'm on Moicano. I don't usually think the line is 100% wrong when we do these, but I absolutely think that this line is just absolutely wrong. I don't see how Moicano could even be close to even money in this fight. Sure, he's lost to Makhachev, and that was just a short notice fight, but it's Makhachev. But, prior to that fight, he was on a 4-fight win streak against good quality fighters, guys like Brad Riddell, Drew Dober, Jalen Turner, Benoit St. Denis. Out of the 4 fights, he was the biggest dog against St. Denis, and he absolutely smashed him so bad that, the doctors had to stop that fight. And I thought Moicano, after that fight, gave one of his best speeches that I thought maybe ever, basically saying that, he wasn't going anywhere, that he was alive and well and really looking to go ahead and make a run, at a title fight. And he found himself in a fight with Islam Makhachev. So there was something definitely going right there. So I don't doubt Moicano's talent. I don't doubt his motivation at all. And as for Dariush, his last win was 3 years ago. His last 2 fights, he was knocked out in the first round. Dariush was, on a great run. Give him credit, for that. But I don't know, Gene. It just looks like he on his last 2 fights and he's looking for a paycheck. It doesn't look like he's going out there necessarily to win. I think based on body language, based on results, you have to like Moicano here. The title fight, I think, with Makhachev that Dariush, could have ended up in, that never happened, and that's probably a good thing that it didn't happen because I don't think he really stood much of a chance to win there. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that ship has sailed for Benoit Dariush there, Gene. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take Renato Moicano at minus 110. I just think this line is just way off. I thought maybe minus 200, maybe minus 250. At minus 110, I'm on it all day long. It does raise a little bit of an eyebrow, but yeah, there's no way I could put my money on Dariush to go ahead and get this done against Renato Moicano, who's been very, very good recently. So that's where I'm at, Gene. I think it's a bad mispricing here. I'm on Moicano minus 110. What do you got?
Yeah, man, I can't say any better. I mean, I could not agree more with you on this. I honestly don't understand the line based on their past few fights. I have some. You touch on everything, but I'll just try to solidify the things you said. Dariush, like you said, hasn't won 3 years or whatever it was that you said. 3 years. Pardon me. But what it is for me is his past 2 performances where he looks like he doesn't even want to be in there. And I remember breaking down his last fight with you, which was a fight night against Sarukian. And it was the same, and I got sucked in. I got sucked into Dariush, winning 5, whatever it was, 6-7, 7-8, and he was supposed to fight for the title. And then I forget what happened. Something happened where I think Dariush got injured or something, but he was supposed to fight Makhachev, and then so there's that letdown there. But still, as a fan and observer, and breaking down the fights or whatever, I'm like, man, he's still skilled. He still has it in the tank. Just get past his injury. But, man, he just looks like a shell of himself, has looked awful, got knocked out in his past 2. And then going into that Sarukian fight, started talking about retirement. He was saying, this might be my last fight or whatever. And now we're back here with Moicano. And it's like, what are you here for? Are you here for just a paycheck? Like, why are you still here? You wanted to retire before Sarukian fight, and then you get viciously knocked out. It's like, all right, dude, just hang it up. You've had a great career. And Moicano, yes, Moicano did lose to Makhachev, but that was it was a short notice fight. And he's here, like you said, he's here for a long time. He wants to make money. He wants to put on fun fights, and we've seen it in that lead up to Makhachev. The Benoit St. Denis performance was incredible. I mean, he just absolutely wiped the mat with Benoit St. Denis. You had the Jalen Turner fight too as well. And I know Jalen Turner, whatever, he was going through his stuff, but very talented kid. And, Moicano showed very well in that fight as well. So, Yeah, I don't know, man. They're both around the same age. They're both, quote unquote, at the end of their careers. But Moicano still has more juice in the gas tank for me. And when you're giving me these odds where it's pretty much a pick 'em, it's like, yeah, I'm going with Moicano. I just don't believe in Dariush. And the other thing I'll say is Dariush has a questionable chin. A lot of people will say, okay, well then go to the grappling. He's a very good grappler, arguably a better grappler than Moicano, but Moicano is no slouch on the ground either. And I, from a betting standpoint, and you take Moicano, I'm comfortable wherever this fight goes. And when I have a guy that pretty much is retiring and has been knocked out viciously in his past two fights, versus a guy that like still has gas in the tank, and I'm getting these odds, and I'm not worried about where the fight goes. Yeah, I'm going with Moicano as well.
All right, that makes me feel pretty good there, Gene. I think he realizes that he got some healthy paychecks probably over like the last four fights, and he's probably enjoying that. But it feels to me like Moicano, Gene, is like he's going to be one of those guys like maybe like a Jim Miller or Cerrone or just or a Clay Guida or somebody like that that's just
Yes.
that could hang around forever. That there's no real retirement talk. And you mentioned it with Dariush. That was one of the reasons why I think that he looked as bad is because he didn't know if he wanted to be there. So I know Moicano wants to be here just based off that speech that he gave a little while ago. He's just bought in, and I think he's having a good time, regardless of the fact if you're getting your ass kicked. I mean, some of the guys that I just named, they're getting their ass kicked. I mean, Cody Garbrandt's still around losing, but there are guys that are just built for this for life, and they'll ride it out until they can't ride anymore. So I honestly think that that's where Moicano's at right now. So I don't know what you think about this line, Gene, but -110 doesn't even feel nearly right.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. I could see it because Moicano's not like. Listen, Moicano's not this like. He got thrusted into that title fight against Makhachev. He wasn't ready for the title fight. He's not some where he's dominating guys in that sense. So I'm not looking for a -200, but I mean at least a -150, -160. Something like a moderate favorite in that sense. But to have it a pick 'em, yeah, I don't understand it at all. And hey, maybe we'll be wrong on Saturday, but yeah, the value is definitely on Moicano, man. He's gonna fight for your money, and like I said, I know I'm repeating myself, but when you bet money on this guy, you don't have to worry about where the fight takes place because he's good in both, like legitimately good in both areas. So, yeah, I'm definitely betting him this weekend.
And just going back to what I was just saying there, Gene, and I think the reason why I said it the way that I said it was that yeah, he's enjoyed some paychecks, but I think he realizes like I've been on some main cards right now. This just keeps me at the top of the top of the food chain, even though I'm not probably going to win a world title. I'm bringing action-packed fights. Somebody like a Gaethje, somebody like a Poirier, somebody like those guys. That hey, they're probably not going to win a belt again, but they're going to bring the action. A Michael Chandler. I feel like that's where Moicano probably sees and feels himself. Right now, and maybe for the next couple of years that he could end up putting on good fights on pay-per-view and potentially make a lot of money, even if he loses some of those because like I just said, some of those guys that I mentioned, they're not out there winning every single fight. Those guys are losing too. But if you put on a good show and you go ahead and you step in there with a guy like Islam Makhachev on short notice because you got to save the card. I really think that he's the beneficiary of a lot of things. But I'm with you, Gene. It's not like he's a world beat or anything like that. Like this guy's been beat before, but I just like the motivation angle here with Renato Moicano. So Gene and I go ahead. We agree on that one. Happy to go ahead and hear that.